Hello, everybody. My name is Annie, and I would like to start out by asking you, have you ever missed out on an opportunity because you were too afraid or you were too scared? For me, this is all too true. So I want to briefly start out by telling you a little bit about myself and how I ended up in this program today. So I was born in Boston, born right in Boston, and when I was around 6 years old, my parents thought it was a good time for us to move out to a place that had a little more space and that was cozier. It had a cozier feel to it. So before I knew it, we packed up and we moved out to this weird place called Milford. And soon I learned that this was called the suburbs. But I remember during that first week that we moved in, everyone just sent us a lot of baked goods, and they gave us a lot of potted plants. And then I soon grew so comfortable with the idea of safety in this neighborhood, and I loved it. But however, I was losing my roots to the city quicker than I had imagined. Now, when college came, it wasn't any better. I wanted a school that was close by, so I go to Clark University out in Worcester, which is only 40 minutes away. And here, my peers have told me that Worcester wasn't the safest area, so I never really explored outside of campus. Heck, I never really stepped foot outside the campus gates. Yeah. So, as an economics major, I really wanted the connections and the professional network. That I knew Worcester didn't have. But I had lingering regrets that if I had gone to a school in Boston, that this would have been a different story. Fortunately, I found this program, and I applied, and I got in, and I was just so excited to finally be able to explore the city and get to work and live in Boston and walk amongst those business professional people that I aspired to be ever since I was a little kid. Now, when fall came, I remember packing everything up and moving out and settling down and and saying to myself, okay, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting 3 years for. So I'm gonna do good. So my mom got in her car and drove away, and that's when it hit me that I was left alone in the city. That I had all access to the city, but I didn't know how to navigate it. I was too scared that I would get lost and stranded in somewhere around the city, so I never really left my apartment that first day. It wasn't until my friend told me that in order to learn how to take the city, I needed to try. So he taught me terms like inbound and outbound, and then I finally took that chance, and I rode the train, and I got back safely on my first day of work. And to a suburbanite, that's really big because for me, I've been reliant on a car all my life. So this was a huge accomplishment for me. Now, I had the pleasure of working at the U.S. Green Building Council Massachusetts chapter this semester with the Grants and Programs Department. I worked on the 2017 Legacy Project, which was implementing the Green Building Tech program at Madison Park High School in Roxbury. Now, initially, when I heard that this program was going to be helping high school students, I immediately lost interest. But after going to their fall meetings and hearing the students tell their stories, I realized that this was a bridge for them, that this program was to better their career paths with an eye towards sustainability. So I began to devote all my time to see this program's success. Now, the students here were from Roxbury and other underprivileged neighborhoods of Boston. So the majority of the students are people of color from low-income families, and that they lived in these areas and didn't have the resources to succeed. And I just realized at that point that I was so lucky to have grown up with stability and a loving and supportive family. That maybe that I didn't take all the opportunities that were presented to me, I still had the choice to take them. So I was educated to really fear these people and to step foot in their communities. Now, when I remember I met this one lady that she was telling me how she struggles with rent every month in her small rundown apartment. And before this program, I would just brush that off and just assume that since she lived in the city, she was clearly better off. However, I went to these neighborhoods, I visited them, And now I realize that these people struggle way more in one day than I would ever in a lifetime. Now, when I pushed fear aside, I understood what my true passions were. I want to provide students with quality education despite their race or where they live. Now, I saw my biggest professional and personal growth when I didn't let fear overcome me. I was able to make a genuine change in other people's lives. So never be afraid to try something new. I challenge you today to take on your fears as a change maker. Thank you so much.